finally getting around to a mono patch in this series of videos, and just a kind of funky lead type of thing. And we're going to use mono LG or mono legato glide. I'm going to talk about these mono modes in a minute, but first let's try to put this patch together real quick. I'm going to use a square wave in oscillator 1, cranked all the way up, a sawtooth wave in oscillator 2, not quite all the way up. Other waves will sound nice for this patch, I think, but that's where we'll start. And we'll set it to mono LG in the voice menu. And we're going to turn glide on, and then turn the glide time up to around 35 or so. So let's actually get an ARP going here. All right, so for a lead, you might want to have it really pop in with zero attack, or you could have a kind of fade in thing, but I'm going to have it pop in with zero attack. Decay doesn't matter because we're going to have the sustain all the way up with a release of around 40. Now let's go into the voice menu, and I'm going to turn unison mode up to 2 and turn the detune off. I'm using the dual filter, but peak owners, without that option, you could try a low pass filter, but open the filter a bit more than what I'm going to have it at, which is around 140. And then the dual filter option is low pass into high pass. I'm going to turn the filter frequency separation down to around -35. Add some resonance, some drive, and you might want to give it some envelope depth. Now we're going to turn the VCA gain almost all the way down to like 30, because that gives us the headroom we need to increase the distortion all the way up to like 120. I'm using the 2-tap chorus option, just a bit of chorus, and some reverb. And one other thing I did from the mod matrix was apply aftertouch, which will now trigger another source, being one of your LFOs, to modulate the pitch. I had it to a negative value, and then let's give the LFO a rate. And that's what that sounds like. I'm going to turn the reverb down just a little bit. All right, so that's about where I wanted to take it, but what is mono LG or legato glide? So what that means is that when you have glide turned on, it only works when you play legato, or smoothly joining each note. If you play them separately, you're not going to get any glide. Check it out with the glide cranked up. So playing legato, obviously glide there, but not happening when I play staccato. And so that's nice to have that option, which doesn't exist in the regular mono mode, which is going to play, if you have glide turned on, it's going to play it no matter what. Which could be useful in and of itself, but I'm not going to have that turned on right now. I'm going to have it on mono LG, because I like having that option. So what about mono 2? Well, if we didn't have the sustain turned all the way up, for example, if it's about halfway up, and then we played legato, then what would happen is that the envelope would only start each time we leave a gap between two notes. In other words, each time we don't connect a note smoothly to the previous one in the legato fashion. So because the envelope isn't starting or re-triggering again each time, right now we're still sustaining a string of legato notes at this lower sustain level, which you can't hear as much. And then only when we leave a gap does it re-trigger again. All right, so if you have a lower sustain in mono mode, and you want it to re-trigger, you have a couple of options. Use mono 2, which will re-trigger it each time. Or if you want to keep it in mono legato glide, then you could go into the envelope menu and set the envelope change it from legato to retrig. So that's going to retrig the envelope each time. without. You'll hear it especially if I turn the sustain down further. Alright, so you're almost not hearing that until we start it again. Alright, so reach rig will take care of that, but I like to be in mono legato mode when I have the glide on because I just like to have the option. Let's get the sustain back up. I just like to have the option of gliding or not. Like I said, this can sound pretty good. I'm going to set oscillator 2 to a square wave as well. I like that as well. Try different wave shapes. And have some fun with it.